The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Maricel Halili. The Bureau of Fisheries is eyeing to review and amend the administrative order which suspended the sale of salmon and pompano in wet markets. BFAR OIC Demosthenes Escoto says they will study if it's time to review Fisheries Administrative Order number 195 since it was approved over 2 decades ago. This follows the Bureau deferring its ban on the sale of imported salmon and pompano.
We find it necessary to review that. Pinapakinggan din ho namin yung mga stakeholders at yung mga sinasabi ng kahit na nanggaling sa kaninong panig. So we will promise you that we will be able to come up with that regulation.
Meanwhile, Fisheries and Aquaculture Board of the Philippines Representative Ching Ling Tangco calls on the Bureau to be transparent in its regulations. The group notes that the administrative order affected supply chains even in supermarkets.
We're hoping that they come out directly and say what was the reason but that they decided all of a sudden to do it. Why did they focus on salmon and pampano? Let's make the regulations clear na in the long run.
Starting Monday, a zipper lane will be implemented along Quezon Avenue. The zipper lane will start in front of the Long Center through the Quezon Avenue to EDSA Underpass and will end at the U-turn slot in front of the Providence Hospital. Motorists coming from the elliptical road going to Welcome Rotonda are advised to use the lane. The zipper lane will be implemented during weekdays from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Its implementation seeks to find its possible effects to the current traffic flow along Elliptical Road and Quezon Avenue as basis for the establishment of active and public transport infrastructures. Some farmers in Camarines Norte have resorted to gold panning with prices of fertilizer and seeds on the rise. Shaila Francisco with the story.
55-year-old Dennis, a farmer, starts his day in Paracale, Camarines Norte as early as 6 a.m. After a quick breakfast, he walks to the farmland to prepare for farming. But as it turns out, he is harvesting something else other than palay. Gold.
Imbis na palay muna yung anihin, ginto muna ang inaani namin. Para kami makaraos. Kisa naman sa tulad, wala pang binhi. Mahal pa. Tapos wala kaming gawa, di lalo kaming tingga.
Locals call this labadero or gold panning, a process in which gold is extracted manually. It is considered one of the simplest ways to mine gold. This is traditionally done in Paracale since the town is known for having gold deposits. Farmers receive their salaries daily for this.
Kikita kaya tayo ng malaki-laki naman ngayon. Araw kaya tayo dito ng 350, 400.
But there is no telling how much they would receive.
Instead of carabaos and tractors here, they rely on themselves the whole day just to get even a pinch of gold. But just how hard is it compared to farming? Come on, let's find out.
They first dig the land up to get soil that possibly has gold deposits. These lands are then soaked in water to loosen the sand and separate it from stones. After that, it will be sifted before dusting through what they call a pabirik to extract the gold.
Kasi ba yung ginagawa nyo kumpara dun sa ibang mga pagmimina at pagmimina? Kasi
po, sa mababaw, wala naman kaming ginagamit na chemical.
Eh paano ito? Magagamit pa ba yung lupa?
Ito pong ano namin, yun na yung buhangin at binabalik din po namin sa...
After the whole process, they will then cook it. After this, they will bring it to the buyer to weigh the gold.
Medyo mas malaki ngayon ng kaunti.
After a whole day's work, they made 3,840 pesos, which will be divided among themselves. Dennis got 548 pesos. It's bigger compared to previous days. But he says it is still not enough, especially for those with kids going to school. But do they prefer gold panning over farming?
Ay nambiron po ang magsaka. Ay una-una nakakapagpahinga nga po kami pag may palay na.
Dito, sige, pakikwento lang po. Bakit po?
Tatapatin ko lang kayo, ma'am.
Okay.
Hindi po ako nakapag-aaral.
Hindi po kayo nakapag?
Aral.
Opo.
Kahit po pangalan ko, hirap ko isulat. Tanong po kayo sa mga tao dito. Kaya kung ganito lang, magsasaka lang talaga.
Dennis says he usually earns double in farming. But with the high cost of fertilizers and seeds nowadays, he says having some extra income from gold panning is useful. That's why farmers like him are asking for additional aid from the government. Para Cales Municipal Agriculture offices, they will be distributing seeds. However, they admit that they have a limited budget for this. They permit gold panning, but reminds farmers not to use chemicals.
Basta siguraduhin lang po na maibalik sa dating forma yung sakahan para nang sa ganun pakinabangan ng mahabang panahon.
For their part, farmers in Paracale assured that they will not do anything to harm farmlands. But they are hoping that like the gold they're panning, their livelihood as farmers will also shine in the future. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Maricel Halili. Fil-Am actor Nico Santos will once again grace the big screen, this time in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. In an Instagram post, Santos described the experience as surreal. Santos's role is still under wraps, but the three Quill will still follow half-human, half-alien Peter Quill and his fellow intergalactic criminals in fighting off threats against the universe. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is slated to hit theaters in May next year. Santos previously starred in NBC series Superstore and hit movie Crazy Rich Asians. For other light news, families lined up to witness the bright and colorful lights of the Christmas drive-thru in BGC Triangle, Taguig. Aside from Christmas lights, the drive-thru is also filled with different mascot displays. The displays show different Filipino Christmas traditions, including setting up decor, having Noche Buena, and exchanging gifts.
Past 2 years, hindi nakapag-celebrate ng normal na Christmas ang pamilyang Pilipino dahil sa pandemic. So, kaya ngayon gusto namin ng all-out sarap at saya para sa pamilyang Pilipino. Drive-thru, syempre it helps create a unique experience para sa bawat Pilipino. Meron space na hindi in-expect ng mga customer namin.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Bangko Sentral is set to increase interest rates again this month at 25 or 50 basis points. But BSP Governor Felipe Medalla tells Bloomberg that the central bank could pause policy tightening by first quarter next year as the U.S. Federal Reserve scales back its rate hikes. In the same Bloomberg interview, Medalla voices caution over the bill that seeks to create the country's first sovereign wealth fund, saying transparency over its governance would be key. And parts of C5 Ortigas flyover will be closed at night until the end of the month to make way for road rehabilitation. The Public Works and Highways Department vows quick repairs to accommodate the incoming holiday rush. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Maricel Halili. We are One News.